So let's talk about how to get out of lockdown as we edge out of it, and what to do about your fitness and things going forward. As I'm sure you're aware, things have been slowly easing. You're allowed to meet other people outside. You can play tennis. July the 4th looks very likely for the gyms to be open. Me personally, I've been back personal training properly for about 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks. Almost everybody from the park is back with me now. So things are slowly getting there. But what do you need to do? That's what I'm talking about here today. So let's get into it. Number one, first of all, accept where you are, because a lot of people have struggled during the lockdown. So I read one report saying around a third of the population, so 20 million people, have gained over 3 kilograms, which is half a stone, 7 pounds. So that's a lot of people. That's, nothing to feel bad about. So if you are one of those people, I wouldn't be beating myself up at all. Likewise, sales of alcohol, cigarettes, takeout meals, junk food, they've all been doing very well. So a lot of people have picked up bad habits, and well, it's lockdown. It's I'm not surprised. So there's no need to beat yourself up. If this is you, stop beating yourself up. Stop worrying about it. Let's just draw a line. Done. Don't need to think about it anymore. There's 20 million people like that, like yourself. Who cares? What can we do about it? First thing to do on that, point 2, you need to identify your circumstances going forward. So things have changed, and yes, lockdown is gradually easing, but it's certainly not finished. Now, from a few, I've got chief executive clients, people who own businesses, they're not planning on bringing their people back to the office, maybe to August, maybe to September, maybe even longer than that. So just because things are easing doesn't necessarily mean things are going to change for you. Some people might be going back to work, some people might not be. The main thing for you is to identify, likely now, thinking ahead to the next month, 2 months, 3 months, what does your situation look like? If you always use the gym next to your work, doesn't matter if it opens July the 4th, because you won't be there if you're working from home still. Likewise, maybe there'll be some gym restrictions on how many people can get in, so maybe you can't get in that sense. So just begin to identify what's your situation looking like going forward. Same with the food. If you're going to be at home, then you're in charge of all of it. If you're going back to work, will the canteen be open? Some of them won't be. So that we know the state of play going forward for the next month, for the next 3 months, so that plans can be made. And that's step 3. Let's create a plan. So you need a plan that covers your food. You need a plan that covers exercise. You need a plan that covers movement. It doesn't have to be super complicated, but it needs to be thought out, especially, and this is a big tricky thing, this is what caught people out in lockdown. The moment you change a circumstance, you have to adapt to your plan. So if you're no longer commuting to work, bang, you've lost maybe 6,000 steps. You've lost maybe the gym by your work. You've lost that workout. Things have changed. Now, if you adapt and roll with it, no dramas. But if you don't adapt with it, you can then run into problems and so forth. So how are you going to cover this? That's what you need to think down and create a plan right here, right now. Create something for you. Now, if you're having trouble with that, I can help you. That's what I do, is help people create plans, help people transform their bodies. You're going to need some home exercise. So, there's no gyms open at least for a month. So you need to do some exercise at home to get things going. Do not be one of these people who think, great, the gym's opening July the 4th. I'm just going to sit and wait for that. You've got 3.5 weeks of action you can take, getting your fitness back up. Now, some people don't know what to do. I understand that. During this lockdown, I've managed to now film 400 different exercises to do outside with no equipment. It's made my exercise program much more powerful. There is lots you can do. You do not need a gym. Now, if you're some professional strongman, maybe, but even them, they might be lifting a car or something. So create a plan. Same with food. How are you going to prepare the food? How are you going to make the food taste nice? You need something that covers all 3. Movement, exercise, food. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to get those results. So that's the next stage. Point 3, create a plan. You can do it within 5 minutes. You can do it within 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be super complicated. If you're struggling, speak to me. See what I can get done for you. Then you've got to start now. No messing around. You've got to start now. There's no point waiting, until July the 4th. There's no point putting off till next Monday. Just start today. Simple as that. Simple plan, start today. That's what you need to be doing. Now, there's two ways to start depending on how you feel mentally. So if you're psyched, you're motivated, you're like, yeah, I'm in, right, let's do this. Fine. Start with something quite intense. Start with something quite hard. You could say, right, I'm going to exercise an hour a day. I'm that motivated. I'm going to go on a 5-day juice-only fast. I'm going to cut out all junk food, 5 days, 7 days. If you're motivated, go for it. Why hold back? Why hold back? If you're not so motivated, again, don't beat yourself up for not being motivated. That is probably half the population right now probably feel that way. The simplest thing is to edge your motivation into action. You can't just sit there and hope to become inspirationally inspired within seconds. It doesn't happen that way. You need to start taking a small action which will create more motivation. However small it is, isn't that important. You have to basically negotiate with yourself and say, what am I okay with doing? So, if your dream plan is to do an hour of training a day, you might only be okay with a 5-minute quick workout in the house. That's fine. Put on some YouTube video. Just only do your favorite exercise. You've got to do something to edge that forwards. Same with food. Maybe you're having a pizza every night. Well, what could you do to do that? Maybe you could cut down the size of the pizza. It's a small gesture and people think it's insignificant, but it's not. You cut down a bit of the size of the pizza night 1, maybe get a slightly lower calorie pizza night 2, you have a bit less again night 3. You begin to slowly create motivation. Night 4, maybe you think, instead of pizza, I'll have this other meal that's not perfectly healthy, but it's better than the pizza. And before you know it, and I've seen this so many times with clients, you fast forward 10 days, wow, you're like in a position where you wouldn't even believe you could ever have got to before. This is the other way to start things, is to edge things. You don't have to go for a 3-hour walk. You just do a 10-minute one. You just go whatever you're okay with and you start making a move. So that's what you got to do. That's point 4. The very final thing, not so related directly today, but you need to start dreaming big. You need to think about possibility. All I see is people just limiting themselves, trying to be sensible, not just thinking I'll lose 2 kg, maybe I'll struggle to lose 3 kg. It's not truly what they want. You can achieve amazing stuff. You can create a change within you that you don't believe watching this is possible, but I know it is possible. Anybody can transform. The first step is though is understanding what you want. What is it that you want, not what you believe you can achieve. And if you've got this, you can set out a roadmap to make it happen. I can help you make that happen. I've done it so many times, but it all starts from yourself, not believing or not desiring a big change. It sucks away your motivation rather than saying, what do I really want? What do I really want to see, or what can I feel? And I see this all the time. I had one guy, he's just now during lockdown, just touching up to the 20 kilogram loss thing. That's an amazing change. Day 1, probably wouldn't have believed he could lose 20 kilograms. That's, a lot of weight. That's 3.5 stone. That's impressive. I've got another guy training for his first ever bodybuilding competition, mid-50s. Who would believe what's normal? But this is what happens if that's what you want to achieve. I got a guy just over 60, hit his goal weight, first time in 40 years. So much can happen if you just aim on it and understand what you want to achieve. I had another lady just before lockdown, totally out of control with her behaviors, turned it around, stone lost, 6-7 kg lost, moving forward. Amazing stuff can happen, but you need to believe, you need to dream big. Just think about, what do I want to achieve? Stop holding yourself back. You may not know how to do it. The people like myself are there to help you and show you ways to do it. Watch more videos and I'll tell you more about that in future things. That's how to get out of lockdown. Chat to you soon.